Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
It's a hotter day today, but the heat wave begins tomorrow. I'll show you how long highs could climb into the triple digits coming up.
And voting on the state budget, the final push to get that overdue spending plan across the finish line and to the governor's desk.
Plus, soaring temperatures, thousands without power when Duke Energy thinks they'll have the electricity flowing once again in Durham. Well, dangerous heat will make it tough to be outside this holiday weekend. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Laura Levine, and for Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Levinger. Thank you so much for joining us here. We do have meteorologist Amy Wilmoth here to talk a little bit more about when the heat index could approach, I hate saying this, 110, Amy.
It is going to be tough to be outside for the holiday weekend. That heat index nearing 110 each day for the holiday weekend, especially Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday as well. And it's because of this huge ridge of high pressure over the eastern half of the country. So very hot temperatures are here to stay. If you have outdoor plans, just make sure you're taking breaks. You're going inside occasionally. You're getting in the shade occasionally. It is going to be some tough heat to take this weekend. It's warm outside right now. It's already 91 degrees in Apex right now, 86 in Knightdale, 86 in Garner, and Fuquay, 88 up in Wake Forest. So temperatures are warmer right now compared to this time yesterday. So the heat really starting to pick up today. It's 89 in Southern Pines, 86 in Rocky Mount, and 88 in Durham. When you factor in the dew point, which isn't terrible right now, it's in the upper 60s. It feels more like 90 in Raleigh and Durham, 90 in Fayetteville, feels like 93 in Southern Pines. So it's definitely a hot day today, but it's going to get even hotter as we head into tomorrow. Highs are in the mid to upper 90s today, so perhaps a good pool day. We're not talking about a heat index of 105 or higher today, but tomorrow that changes. 100 for the high temperature, the heat index around 104 to 105. Friday, 102 for the high, the heat index up to 107. 103 for the high temperature on the 4th of July with the heat index of 107. Some spots close to 110. Sunday, 101 with the heat index of 108. So this is 4 days in a row with high temperatures in the 100s. It is going to be very hot for the 4th of July. This is the 4th. We'll be in the upper 70s in the morning, already 90 at 11 a.m., and then still in the upper 90s at 8. Now, there is a break in the heat next week. I'll show you why that's the case coming up.
I'm Kirsten Clark in the WRAL Live Center, where we're staying on top of breaking news. The Wake County Sheriff's Office is responding to a reported stabbing in eastern Wake County. Take a look here. This is Sky 5 over the scene as we speak. This is Old Mill Farm Drive near Wendell. You can see several Wake County Sheriff's vehicles on scene. You can see this house is completely blocked off here with yellow tape. We know this stabbing happened just after 10 o'clock this morning, and when sheriff's deputies arrived, they found a man suffering from an apparent stab wound. He was transported to the hospital with serious injuries. Deputies, as we've mentioned, are on scene determining the circumstances surrounding the incident, but there is no one in custody at this time. Now, I want to bring you back out here to the Live Center. The Wake County Sheriff's Office wants us to stress the description of the suspect. Take a look here. They're describing him as a thin-built black man, bald, last seen wearing sunglasses, a tan and white sweatshirt with the words Washington, D.C. He's wearing short blue shorts, white tube socks, and blue and white tennis shoes. So if you see someone that matches this description, do not approach this person and immediately dial 911. We, of course, will continue to stay up to date on this investigation as it continues, and we'll bring you those updates right here in the WRAL Live Center.
We're also following the fallout regarding that significant power outage in Durham. We're talking about 6,000 people are still without power there this afternoon. And that's because a tree fell on a main transmission line. This knocked out power at one point to about 26,000 customers around 2:30 this morning. Let's bring in Monica Casey. She is live along Fayetteville Street, where many businesses are closed. Monica, no power at all in that area.
That's right. We did just see one tiny change. I want to point out to you, this street light here behind me just came on in the last 15 seconds before you came to us. But of course, a lot of businesses here tell us they have been without electricity. And of course, that means without air conditioning as well. Chicken Hut here is one of them. The owner tells us they were forced to close today. Now, video from Sky 5 shows that tree down on a transmission line that was impacting so many thousands of people in Durham since early this morning. The owner of Chicken Hut It usually starts around 4:30, and he woke up to news of the outage. Despite that, they do operate some of their business on gas. So Trey Tapp tells us his staff was here from 7 a.m. until 9:30 preparing meals for the daycare that they serve. After that, though, those doors had to close for the day.
It's a lot.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we have an update to some breaking news that we just brought you a few minutes ago. The Wake County Sheriff's Office tells us that the suspect is in custody in this investigation, a stabbing investigation in eastern Wake County. As you can see, Wake County Sheriff's deputies are still on scene here. This is in the area of Old Mill Farm Drive near Wendell. Again, this is a stabbing investigation, and the suspect is now in custody. We did see canines out. Looks like they may still be searching, possibly for a weapon. And we know that they responded to this area around 10 o'clock this morning for that reported stabbing. And when they arrived, they found a man suffering from an apparent stab wound, and he was transported to the hospital with serious injuries. So as this investigation continues, we will keep an eye on this and give you any updates as they come in.
Kirsten, thank you. Now to this horrific story. 4 people face child endangerment charges after police found 16 children living in deplorable conditions inside an Ohio home. The Ohio State Attorney described the situation as, quote, pure evil, adding that it was one of the worst scenes he had ever experienced. The children range from 1.5 to 18 years old, all being treated at hospitals. 2 need to be life flighted to trauma centers, and officials did not say how they were alerted to the situation inside the home. This case remains under investigation. Well, a man legally named Santa Claus is charged in connection with an undercover child exploitation sting. Police accused the New Orleans man of using a dating app to arrange a meeting with someone he thought was a 15-year-old boy. Officers say the 75-year-old was white hair and has white hair and a bushy white beard and appears to take on Santa's persona. Charges include computer-aided solicitation of a minor and indecent behavior with a juvenile. Now, Claus was one of 11 people arrested during an undercover child exploitation operation.
So the heat is so extreme in the Midwest, it caused the pavement in some places to buckle. The Wisconsin DOT has been repairing roads because the heat wave caused concrete slabs to expand. And when that happens, the road can raise several inches, and that can cause a dangerous situation for drivers. And in Colorado, a raging wildfire destroyed a bridge near a campground. Look here at your screen. You see how intense this is? It gives you an up-close look at that bridge destroyed by a spot fire that was sparked by the Aspen Acres wildfire in Colorado. The damaged bridge cut access to looks like a campground that was being used as a staging area for fire crews. But despite all this, their Department of Transportation in Colorado was able to build a temporary bridge overnight.
A 9-year-old boy is proving that you are never too young to make a difference. Inspired by the upcoming America 250 celebration, he and his brother rallied neighbors to transform their neighborhood sidewalk into a patriotic flag walk. Here's Randy Gyllenhaal.
The lush green lawns on this block in Aurora now sprinkled with red, white, and blue.
It has my favorite colors in it, and it's really cool.
Thanks to 9-year-old Declan Hush and his brother Jack, who had a big idea.
It's a wonderful flag walk. I love this.
To go all out for the 4th of July.
They got excited about 4th of July, especially 250, and they wanted to do something special.
When they finished their front yard, their next-door neighbor, an older veteran, stopped by just to say thank you.
It reminded me sometimes how they have a celebrations on military bases, and I was like, wow, that's outstanding. So I just told him, I said, that's fantastic.
Gerald Moore served in the Marine Corps, but with health struggles, couldn't get flags up this year, but he still wanted to honor the country's 250th. So the 4th grader next door got to work.
The next day, I was shocked. I told my wife, I said, look, I said, our yard has the same flags over there. And it turns out that Declan, that enterprising young man, he said, why don't we help them out?
That innocent spirit proving patriotism is contagious. Soon other neighbors stopped by too. The lawns next door and then across the street also joined in.
And then everybody followed, and then it was amazing.
When I told them we were going to do it, they're like, can we come over and help you decorate? Absolutely. And so, you know what? I love seeing these little guys with their, encouraging their patriotism.
It's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with being patriotic. That's what this block is about, and that's what America is about.
Oh, I just love this story. So there's no need to leave the state to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday. There are plenty of events scheduled this weekend. North Carolina's founding documents will be on display at the state capitol as part of NC Freedom Fest. It features family-friendly activities, live entertainment, and historical displays throughout the day. You can find a list of events on our website. Just search America 250.
Amy, I understand we are in North Carolina. I understand it's summer, and I understand it gets hot. But still, I must ask, what is this?
I know.
What is this?
I'm actually in discussions with my family, wondering what we're going to do on this day, 4th of July, because a lot of times we're outside the entire day, and I don't want to be out in that.
This is the weekend.
Yeah.
You got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated. And if you are outside, if you can, take as many breaks inside or in the shade. It is going to be very hot. So we have 4 straight days in a row with highs in the triple digits, and it just so happens to fall right during the holiday weekend. So very dangerous heat expected with this big ridge of high pressure over us. We expect a heat advisory for at least part of the viewing area starting tomorrow, and that will continue through the weekend. It's going to get worse as we head toward the 4th of July holiday. So this is a map with the heat risks to show you how bad the heat's going to be on your body. And for Thursday, we don't see any of that purple extreme color, but we see the reds and the oranges. So it's definitely going to be hot tomorrow, and some of us, at least some of us, will be in a heat advisory. Now this is Friday. Notice how the purple starts to creep into some of our northern counties. It will be even hotter with the heat index up to about 107, approaching 110 in some spots. Then we get to the 4th of July, the heat risk worsens. That area of purple of extreme heat goes down into the triangle. So it is going to be very, very hot outside on Saturday. And look at Sunday as we're wrapping up the holiday weekend. Almost everybody in the extreme heat category. Monday, it's going to be very hot. Most of us in the extreme heat. But Tuesday, we start to notice it backing off a little bit. Still some extreme heat in the southern part of our viewing area, but it looks like it starts to back off because our rain chances start to go up. So starting Sunday night, especially Monday and Tuesday, we'll have a front nearby. That brings a chance for some storms the second half of our day, and that should help us out at least a little bit with the high heat. It's still going to be hot, but just not as hot. So a 20% chance Saturday and Sunday. Most of us will stay dry. Sunday night rain chances go up a bit, and then a 40% chance on Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully we get some clouds, we get some rain, and hopefully that will help to cool us down a little bit. This is a live look at Carolina Beach. Already busy out there at the beach. It's a beautiful day. I don't see a cloud in the sky. If you're headed to the beach for the 4th of July, it's looking good. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures will range from the mid to upper 90s to even upper 80s in some spots. So it's going to be a good beach day for the 4th of July. If you're headed to some of the lakes for the 4th of July, looking good. We should stay dry. Carr Lake, Lake Gaston, Hyco Lake, Falls Lake. It's going to be hot. Jordan Lake, but it looks to stay dry. If you're headed west a little bit, maybe to Lake Norman or High Rock, or even closer to the mountains, Lake James, Lake Lure, temperatures will be hot, but you don't have to worry.
All right, so you already know, right? The 4th of July, it is often one of the loudest nights of the year, and that can lead to many pets having a pretty tough night until the fireworks stop exploding. 5 on your side, Katie Arthur shares the top dangers for pets on the holidays and how you can avoid them.
Summer is considered the peak seasons for pet emergencies. And when you think about it, it's easy to understand why. From parties to heat to loud fireworks, here are the dangers you need to be aware of. Heat stroke and dehydration, burnt pads from hot pavement, fireworks and other loud noises, plus toxic food and drinks, and stress from unknown environments.
We want to make sure that we're keeping a close eye on them, that they are staying hydrated, that they're able to get cool somewhere. So do they have shade? Are you keeping them off of that hot pavement? Do they have water readily available? Are we keeping them away from substances or foods that they shouldn't eat? Because even the common, tray of, veggies and fruits may have grapes or something like that that pets can't eat.
And you also want to be aware of harmful products, things like citronella candles, sunscreen, insect repellents, even pool chemicals. If they're ingested or absorbed through the skin, that can be dangerous, and you don't want your pet ending up here. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
All right, coming up at 12:30, extreme heat kicks in today as we take a live look at Lake Gaston. Meteorologist Amy Wilmot returns with a look at those temperatures this noon and what we can expect later today. Plus, With that extreme heat, we're also talking about medication. Certain prescription drugs can impair your body's ability to regulate internal temperature. Advice from medical professionals after the break.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We're staying on top of breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center. The Wake County Sheriff's Office says a suspect is in custody as they investigate a reported stabbing in eastern Wake County. Sky 5 is over the scene now. This is on Old Mill Farm Drive near Wendell. You can see several Wake County Sheriff's vehicles and deputies. The focus is one house here, but we've seen deputies all over the place with searching with a canine as well. We do know that they found a man stabbed just after 10 o'clock this morning. He was transported to the hospital with serious injuries. So we, of course, will continue to keep eyes on this scene here as the Wake County Sheriff's Office investigates, and we'll bring you updates as we have them.
Thank you for that update there, Kirsten. So let's go ahead and get you a live look right now at Carolina Beach. Yeah, it's looking like it's hopping out there right now. But the thing is, climate scientists say that the world's oceans are running unusually hot. New data from European scientists show that global sea surface temperatures hit a new June record on June 21st. Scientists say that El Nino is helping drive this heat with the human-driven climate crisis underneath this.
So with all of that in mind, meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look at the steaming forecast ahead, Amy.
Well, usually high sea surface temperatures could mean maybe some action in the tropics. Thankfully, we don't have any of that right now. Nothing really to see, but we'll keep you posted as something develops. The big story this week is the heat, as Laura mentioned, triple-digit highs Thursday through Sunday. So for the entire holiday weekend, when a lot of you are going to be outside. So please take it easy. Start hydrating now. We have 4 days in a row of 100-degree days, and the last time that happened was July 4th back in 2012. So this doesn't happen very often. So we are just trying to get you the message that it's going to be hot and you have to take some breaks. Even if you're going to be outside most of the day, try to get inside and take some breaks when you can. 88 is the current temperature in Raleigh. The heat index is 90. The dew point's in the upper 60s, so it's pretty humid, but if it were in the 70s, it would feel much worse outside. It does feel like 95 in Roxborough and South Hill. It feels like 90 in Fayetteville right now. High temperatures today are climbing into the mid to upper 90s, so it's hot today, but we're not in the triple digits like we expect tomorrow. 100 is the forecast high for tomorrow. The heat index around 105, so probably a heat advisory for some of us on Thursday. Friday, 102 for the high. I think the heat index could be as high as 107. So I think definitely we're under a heat advisory on Friday, and that continues through the holiday weekend. I'll show you more of the holiday weekend forecast coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's just miserable. Thank you so much, Amy. Well, extreme heat can literally damage or destroy the effectiveness of your prescriptions. Christina Von Zell spoke with doctors about how the rising temperature could have a negative impact on your health.
If you take daily medication,
people are on antidepressants, on other psychotropic medications or medications you usually take for your mental health. That can sometimes blunt your body's ability to kind of regulate, right, your internal thermostat.
Ascension, Wisconsin, ER Dr. Christopher Ford says diuretic medications or water pills increase your risk for dehydration, while common antihistamines like Benadryl can actually block your body's ability to sweat.
It takes a while for your body to become acclimated to that heat, right? And so a lot of us are kind of behind the eight ball to begin with when we don't have the ability to temperature regulate and our bodies aren't really conditioned to be in the heat.
Local pharmacists also have a warning for diabetics. Insulin degrades quickly in extreme temperatures and should never be exposed to this heat wave. Same goes for medications kept at room temperature.
If you're out and you have a bottle of tablets with you, it's not a big deal. The capsules, some of the capsules will actually melt in the high temperatures.
And it is also important to note that inhalers and EpiPens can malfunction, burst, or deliver inaccurate doses if left in hot environments like cars. Also, stimulants such as ADHD medication speed up metabolism and can increase dehydration.
All right, so this drought affecting our state right now, it's also affecting the taste and smell of water in Hillsborough. The town found that hot, slow-moving water and an increase in algae upstream of the town's water intake, these are to blame. It says the water is still safe to drink, though. That's why workers are working on improving the taste and smell through the filtration process for the town's water. Make sure you stay prepared during the extreme heat with the WRAL weather app. Turn on those push notifications. That way you can get important information sent right to your phone.
Well, we have a couple of reminders this morning ahead of the July 4th celebrations in the Triangle, or this afternoon, I should say. If you're heading to Dix Park this week, the park is preparing for this weekend's fireworks show. That means you could see impacts to park access and road closures. The big field is closed starting today through Monday, and beginning on Saturday, all park entrances are closed to cars. Downtown shuttles begin from Moore Square at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, and gates open at 6. Meanwhile, the city of Raleigh is doing what it can to make sure that you stay hydrated at the celebration. There will be water bottle filling stations spread out across Big Field. Just make sure that you bring a reusable bottle. The fireworks show starts at 9:30.
Well, looks like the Canes are picking up fans all over the world after their Stanley Cup run, including the Pope. His Holiness now has a custom jersey with his name on it. Pope Leo XIV met with State Labor Commissioner Luke Farley in the Vatican. The Pope also received the Order of the Tar Heel, which is the highest honor handed out by the Department of Labor. But my question is, did he bless the jersey?
Right? Oh my gosh, I want him to put it on.
Oh, that's cool, right?
All right, coming up at 12:30 now. Sky High Legacy. America's turning 250, and we're taking flight with the story of the Black aviators who helped write the nation's history. How the great Americans that changed the skies will be celebrated.
Plus, high rents, hard decisions. The growing pressure forcing some downtown Apex businesses to shut down.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we have quite the live picture here for you right now. This is atop the Empire State Building in New York City. You can see two people at the top right now. Looks like they are climbing down at this point, but just moments ago, we saw them at the very top of the building. They were holding a black flag with white lettering that read, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." Again, it looks like they're climbing down at this point, but it doesn't seem that they have any restraints or ropes keeping them attached to the building. So we're just going to keep an eye on this situation. It's still unclear how they even got up there, why they were up there in the first place. But again, this is the Empire State Building. We have two people at the very top right now. We'll bring you updates as we have them.
Wow, what a wild situation. Kirsten, thank you so much. A perfect storm of challenges in downtown Apex now has some business owners considering closing their doors. Their landlords are passing on an increase in city taxes and insurance by raising their rent. That's on top of the hit that businesses are taking from a downtown construction project. Owners say the struggle is real. The Alleyway bookstore announced that it will close its doors after receiving a significant rent increase.
And then he sent the number over, and it was 64% more than what we're paying right now. And with the construction out front and our business model, that's just not sustainable.
So we did reach out to his landlord, who said that with higher property taxes, rising insurance rates, and building maintenance, she has to pass on some of that cost. Mayor Jacques Gilbert sent out a letter to both sides asking how they can work together to come to an agreement. Apex businesses are hoping that they see an influx of foot traffic this summer that will help them with their bottom line.
Triple-digit heat on the way. Gross. Amy Wilmoth will talk to us more about who could go under a heat advisory. We have her full forecast coming up in just moments. All right, so as we approach the 250th anniversary of America, it is so important to highlight great Americans.
Yes, NBC's Tom Yamas explains how the Tuskegee Airmen, the legendary black fighter pilots from World War II, continue to shape the country today.
In the air, pilot Alex Cole knows he's flying on the shoulders of giants.
My great uncle was an original Tuskegee Airman.
Pilots trained the Tuskegee way go on to earn high praise and wide acclaim.
The Tuskegee Airmen were America's first group of black aviators, serving in World War II during a time of racial segregation.
Squadron after squadron out of Tuskegee, flying P-40s first, tough little planes, then striking with Thunderbolts.
And I recognize that for not the strides that they went through, that I wouldn't be here where I am today.
Lieutenant Colonel Cole's journey began with the Air Force, serving 2 decades with tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. Then he became a presidential pilot, flying vice presidents and senior cabinet officials during the Bush and Obama administrations.
This is the age that we started wanting to learn how to fly.
Lieutenant Colonel Cole, now retired from active duty, has a new mission. working with kids at Legacy Flight Academy.
Are you guys ready to fly?
His goal, to inspire the next generation of aviators.
In my heart it's about teaching them that there is an opportunity out here to learn, do something that you may not have thought about, and expose them to that so that they can dream.
For some, those dreams already taking flight.
It was fun. I got to take off, and I was like 1,000 feet in the air.
I'm excited to just like feel how it is to be a pilot.
I find it interesting to try new things, and I am pretty interested in aviation.
Wow. The limitless possibilities of the sky.
It's so different from up here.
Cole says echo the ever-expanding potential of the American dream.
Keep flying. We're in this continuous growth process of learning about who we are as a country, learning about our history, sharing our history, and growing from that point.
They didn't know what the future would be, but many hoped they'd get the chance to fly and fight in the air.
History rooted in the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen, continuing to soar.
The main thing I love about America is our diversity. And I love how beautiful our country is. We're a beautiful country and a powerful one that tries to set the standard. We don't always meet it, but our effort is to try to.
All right, so as we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we're following today on WRAL News. We're going to start with some breaking news over in Wendell as WRAL's Sean Gallagher is live on the scene that's there right now. Sean, walk us through what investigators are talking about on Old Mill Farm Road.
Well, Chris, they were on the search for a stabbing suspect, and within the last half hour or so, the Wake County Sheriff's Office tells me that stabbing suspect taken into custody. I want to give you a look at me right here behind me. Old Mill Farm, this is a gated community, so this is as close as we could get, but take a look at Sky 5 video that we got from earlier above the scene as the investigation was ongoing. Law enforcement telling us around 10 a.m. there was a call here about a stabbing. They tell us that the person who was injured here had serious injuries but is expected to survive. Now, they were on the lookout for that suspect for quite some time, about an hour and a half or so. But again, within the last half hour, we've learned that they have taken that person into custody. Now, as we are waiting for more information, we're asking questions about exactly what happened. And as soon as we find out that information, we'll update our website and then have the latest in our newscast starting at 4 o'clock. But for now, in Wake County, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Without power in Durham as temperatures climb closer to 100 today. A tree fell on a main transmission line overnight, knocking out power to 26,000 customers. Again, that's in Durham. Along Fayetteville Street, many businesses were forced to close, like the Chicken Hut. Street lights on major roads are also out. You should treat those as four-way stops. Duke Energy says crews are working to restore power.
So right now, state lawmakers are in the process of debating the largest budget in state history. This includes pay raises for state workers and officers, cuts to vacant state jobs, and tax relief for people in our state. The Senate is expected to hold its first votes on the measure this afternoon, ahead of an expected final approval as soon as tomorrow. The House is expected to debate that plan today, so count on the WRAL NC Capitol team for updates throughout the day on air and online. All right, let's talk about our pet of the day coming to us from Cat Angels Pet Adoptions. Meet Catalina, a beautiful one-year-old Torbie with a gentle heart there and a quiet spirit. She is the kind of cat who loves her person, right? And Catalina will keep you company while you work and reward your patients with soft purrs and gentle head bumps. If you're looking for a cat who forms deep, lasting bonds, well, you can go ahead and fill out an application for Catalina on the Cat Angels website if you'd like to meet her in person.
Well, NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update comes in 30 minutes.
And as always, you can get your breaking news updates as well as your latest weather reports with the WRAL News app. Hope you have a blessed day today.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.